Hi guys, I'm Ken Scott from Cycle Lab 4As, and we are going to run through the UCI ruling on a TT bike and how we measure it to make sure that it passes the UCI rule. So let's touch a little bit about the bike sort of weight and rider categories, and then we'll jump into some of how we actually measure this. So you get three different categories when it comes to riders, and that's all based on height. Category rider is including and under 179.9 centimeters. Anybody who falls in category 2 is between 180 to 189.9, and category 3 will fall anybody over 190 centimeters. Okay, so this is a 51, this is likely going to be a Cat 1 rider. When it comes to modifications and anything like that on the bike or parts, that is not allowed. Wheel sizes need to be the same, and bike needs to weigh more than 6.8 kilograms. Okay, there is a ruling on the minimum weight on a bike. Okay, the bike will be weighed without water bottles, saddlebags, tubes, GPSs, so anything that's removable. The bike still needs to be rideable, so anything that's removable and still leaves the bike rideable will be removed. And I'm not talking about bottle cages and stuff like that. Okay, when it comes to the sort of seat itself, where people sit, that's where we're going to start. There's a length or an allowance on that length, so anything between 240 mils to 300 mils is within the guidelines. Anything that exceeds that does not pass. Now this is about 252 mils on length. We just measured the front to the rear of the seat using a ruler, so that guy passes nicely. Now when it comes to the degree, from a horizontal plane, you cannot exceed 9 degrees in a positive or a negative manner. Now, when we took a flat plane and something that measured the degree of angle, this came out at 5.5 degrees. So this passes with flying colors. Now, the seat in relation to the BB, so that is this measurement here, the nose of the seat in relation to this BB, cannot come into 50 mils within the BB, so the seat needs to be 50 mils or further behind the BB. Now when we measured this bike didn't necessarily pass that. It's sitting at about 16 mils, so we need to move this seat probably about another 30 to 40 mils back just to get it to pass. 30 mils won't get it to pass. What will happen is if we come within that 50 mils, it'll apply new rules to extend the handlebars out, so just be careful about that. When we talk about extension, we measure from this BB line to the furthest point with the shifter extended out to its furthest point. When we measure the height, we're going to take the height at the shifter on its highest extended point, measure from a horizontal plane, come down to the middle of the elbow rest pads, and for a category 1 rider that cannot exceed 100 mils. Category 2 is 120, category 3 is 140. And on the reach, category 1 is 800 mils on a reach length, category 2 is 830, and category 3 is 850 mils on a reach length. So please be careful about which catch you're measuring for and where you set that shifter. On a bar width, nothing over 500 mils and nothing under 350 mils. So it must be between 350 to 500 mils on a bar width. And that is pretty much it, guys.